Sherelle, what's popping?
First of all, hello everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so this is my thing that I came to address, and it's kind of like it's no smoke, but it was kind of something that Bunny said, and I've like heard a bunch of women get up here and say this. I feel like this whole idea of y'all always trying to pass off, let's say, whore behavior or whore tendencies. The fact is that the good girls always will acknowledge that hoes exist, right? But then y'all, when and not saying that you're a hoe, but majority of the times when girls who are not sexually disciplined or y'all can't overcome y'all lower nature, that's the lowest nature that a human could go in. Oh, she has a vagina. Oh, he has a penis. We're supposed to mate. That's your lower nature. If you can't never overcome your lower nature, you make stupid ass decisions. So yeah, eventually people go through discipline because discipline is something that you can do so to make yourself better. The average person is going to do with the average thing. The reason why you read books, the reason why you discipline yourself, the reason why you study is so that you can evolve. Humans are supposed to be evolving. That's why we're here. Evolution is here. We're not doing the same shit that we used to do 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago. We have to keep on pushing the thing. We have to keep on pushing it. So a lot of times when people are sexually disciplined, yeah, they're not going to be the girl. Guess what? There is no woman that's going to sit here and try to make me believe that somehow all of us have to go through a phase where we just fucking niggas because they attractive. None of us, we all cannot relate and sit around and pretend like, oh, I went to the club and just let niggas at the club fuck me. That's not my story. And I'm not going to let you push that story on women because guess what? Women who don't do it, we will never say that that it doesn't exist. We always establish that there's niggas and women who want to have sex. We don't have no problem with that because guess what? A woman's character is what judge. You got to judge her by her heart and what she mean, not what she doing with her pussy. That's a totally different thing. It don't make you a good woman because you don't have sex. It don't make you a bad woman just because you do have sex. That's not what it is. But at the end of the day, both exist. So when y'all go up with these whole, oh, well, let's just be real. All of us are not fucking. And all of us don't have the results. Like, y'all not going to dismiss the fact that 40% of black women are single with no fucking children. They have women who are out here celibate. They have women who are not getting bust down at clubs. They have women like that who are not embarrassing themselves. They have black men who are not embarrassing themselves, going out here acting in their lower nature. Everybody has a lower nature. The same thing that you have to overcome to say, I'm not going to eat a Snicker today because I want to lose 20 pounds. The same shit that you got to overcome to go to the gym. The nigga that's at the gym bench pressing 500, guess what? The average nigga can't bench press 500. He's doing the work though. So don't dismiss that the man can go in there and actually lift some shit that you can't lift just because you can't lift it. A lot of times y'all get stuck in y'all lower nature. And the fact is, you don't want to raise your vibration and say that you can overcome it because you don't want to put the work in. So then what you do is you project your mediocrity. You project your shit and make it seem like, okay, then nobody, if I can't do better, if I can't get smarter, if I can't be more disciplined, nobody can. This is the way that the world is going to be.
Sure, can
I
I
think
make
I think that's just a very low way to think. So when y'all speak, don't speak for all women. We're gonna acknowledge that. And I think what Alma Eyes was saying like this, don't say it's out of order. Everybody out here living their experience. If a woman wants to fuck 10 niggas a day, that's her prerogative. That's her order. The
Yeah,
problem
and that
is
woman might not be for you guys.
y'all keep letting men set the standard of what you gonna do with your body. Every woman wants to do what the fuck she wants to do with her own free will. And guess what? These niggas want to do what they want to do with their own free will too. Only difference is men want to control women's free will. They want to have their own free will, even though God gave everybody free will. Men want to dictate women's free will. So guess what? If women are fighting for their own rights, they shouldn't have to deal with another woman telling her what she should be able to do with her body and what makes her a woman and what makes her correct. That's bullshit. That ain't doing nothing but making us divisive. The good girls shouldn't be versus the bad girls. Because guess what? Some of these niggas need bad girls. Some of these niggas need to be put on a leash and walk like a dog. That's what they need.
And they want
So we
bad
need to
girls.
understand that's your teammate. And everybody being able to be honest about who they are now and be free, and nobody's getting locked up or hanged for having being sexual like that. Men, all y'all have to do is pay attention. Because if that's the type of woman she want to be, then don't marry her. Don't have kids with her. Don't be it. But don't allow her not to be herself.
Big
I
facts.
that I know we're having a conversation and everybody keeps talking about you know, that we're not keeping it real up here. But that's all I was saying. I'm not saying that I did it now, but y'all did say that we have to keep it real in order for, people to learn. So I'm just saying that in my past, because I'm 37 now, okay? I'm 37 now. So I'm not about to sit here and act like in my past, that's something that I haven't did at least once. Y'all say to keep it honest, so I'm being honest. That's something that I did do, but I
We appreciate you there for the chocolate bunny.
I'm 37 now.
I don't have a problem with you being honest, because like I said, I didn't come up here to judge you. That ain't my job. I'm not judging nobody. Everybody living their own experience. My thing is when you said we all have this. I don't have that past. So if I came up here and said I don't have that past, then none of y'all did. Every last one of y'all did what I did.
A minority of us have that past. That's the word I should have used. A minority of us had that past or experience. I'm not saying, and I never advocate that that's what we should do. I said from jump that we should operate how Granville said. Now, I said that I'm not about to sit here in front like I didn't do it the way that Jay Prince said. But I can be honest enough and say that I sabotaged myself by doing it the way that Jay Prince spoke about. So I can be honest about that.
I wouldn't even say that I'm a minority of women. I feel like a minority of women are disciplined. A minority of women are celibate. A minority of women carry themselves and value themselves, because majority of women aren't taught that, and majority of women do not move like that. I think the majority of women are out here being unsexually disciplined, sleeping with whoever, catching STDs, and having kids by anybody. And that is what the results show. That is actually the majority. But this is the thing. When the majority is pushing the narrative and y'all want to always be the loud, y'all are not changing the narrative. Y'all are telling little girls and encouraging the little girls that got to come in the field that shit is okay. Because the majority of us are doing it. But instead of y'all being so loud and proud about all women are just fucking them, talk about how miserable y'all be. Talk about how fucked up y'all be. Talk about them STDs y'all catch. Talk about how miserable it is having to raise them children by yourself. Talk about how a nigga fucking you and then you mad because he's not calling you and you looking for him. Stop always praising it and going.
It's like she cooking, but then she freezing at the same time. Like flip flopping.
Start talking about them fucked up results that y'all end up with, so y'all stop sending other little girls to go up and do that.
But I would never.
You can sleep with whoever you want and be how promiscuous you want. And now I get what you're saying, Sherelle. What you're saying is correct. I'm sorry. Hold up. How everybody doing? How you ladies doing? I'm sorry about that. While I'm bullshitting. My bad. But I understand exactly what you're saying, Sherelle. But it's like at first what you were saying was not to judge them, let them do what they want. Women should be able to do whatever they want because we're in that day and age of freedom and choice. And if they choose to do that, we should not cast any shame or tell them to do anything to better that. But then now you're saying
no. I said we can't. I said we can't judge them. The point is not to judge them, because the point is if you really want to see who somebody is, you have to allow people to be who they are so that you can see who they are. So allow them to be there and not judge it. The thing about it is when they push it, it's not even about the narrative of who they want to be. Okay, you want to be a hoe? Be a hoe. Why do y'all try to paint it as this is the only thing we could be? Because every time some woman come up here and say that I am the good girl, I am the one that's sexually disciplined, I am not giving my pussy to anybody. Every time that woman speaks, everybody's trying to if it's not a Jay Prince, if it's not a man up here saying no, all y'all hoes is doing this. It's a woman up here saying no, all y'all hoes are the same. No, we're not the same.
Usually, honestly, Terrell, not to cut you off. It's usually I usually hear or see women in the chat combat her. They call her a pick-me. They call her a mammy. They call her names when she's saying you need to be sexually disciplined and vet better and do the right thing so we can bring back the black community and the black family. That's what I was going to ask you. So with what you were saying as far as not judge them and let them do whatever, I'm thinking the judgment and the shame is, I don't know if it works yet. I'm willing to walk and have that talk, but I'm thinking we should do or promote what's best for the black family communities, and hopefully that would empower us as a people and bring back families and couples and more respect amongst the black man and black woman for each other.
So real quick, before you go, Sherelle, I want to say this. In Chocolate Bunny, I will tell you this. When they talk about this evolving crap, nature always been the same. Nature was the same when back in the past. It's the same today, and it's going to be the same tomorrow. Nature never gonna change. Nature gonna always be the same. Now, my thing is when people be coming up here, be talking this good shit, be saying just the right stuff, but they life do not reflect that. People can talk heavy and talk all loud about the good stuff, but when you dig in their life, or if they honest enough into really expose who their life really is, it do not reflect none of this stuff that they be hollering about.
All right, hold on.
Is that the past?
So let me do this. I kind of want to hear the back and forth that Zagu and Sherelle was having, because I think they are hearing each other. And I would like her response to what he just said. Because Sherelle, I think one thing he pointed out that maybe you could break down is why often when the women come up here and say they're wholesome, you're right, men will push back against it, but overwhelmingly they get called names by the women in the chat.
Okay, and that's why I'm kind of lost with that, because I literally came up here to address Chocolate Bunny, because this is my second time hearing a woman say that. And one thing about a man saying that, but when a woman come up, because there was another girl and she came and she was on some like, oh, you know, the first 5 minutes we want, that was what it was. The first 5 minutes we see a man, we know we want to fuck him. No, the fuck we don't. I don't know why y'all brain work like that. Why do y'all pass that on to everybody? Do y'all honestly think, like, I feel like I can go to the gym and see 25 attractive niggas. There is nothing in my brain that's saying I want to smash 25 niggas because they're attractive. I can go to places where men are attractive. So I think that was my whole point. I was coming up here to address the women pushing that idea or that narrative. And what I'm saying is a lot of times women are loud and proud about this whole. And no judgment. I don't feel like nobody should judge, because you judging yourself if you judging somebody.
No,
like,
but I understand where she was coming from, and not to kind of speak for you, Chocolate Bunny. But if I'm wrong, definitely step in. But it's not all 25 men that you see attractive. If none of them actually do it for you, then you're not having that thought. But if one of those 25 men does it, or actually hits that box for you visually, or whatever it is, you may have heard him speak, or you may have had a conversation 3 days earlier in the gym. But if that one person is there in your head, you know, if he asks you out, or if it ever gets there, before you actually have the actual intercourse, in your mind, you've already known, like when you give a dude your number, if it gets there. Now, the guys that you don't give their number, that don't mean they're not attractive. They could be attractive and you still may give them their number. But for that guy that's actually doing it for you, I think that's what she means. You know, if you're actually willing to, not saying you actually are going to give him the box, but you know, if you're willing to actually go there with that man before you actually go there with that man. I think that's what she was saying. Not just everybody that's attractive. You just willing to say, oh, he's attractive, I'll hit, or I'll let him hit. But that's just for that scenario.
She was literally saying we're gonna hit it and then we're gonna figure it out later. Like, no, I'm never gonna be like that.
Okay, no,
that's not what I said, Sherelle. Hold on. That's not what I said. What I said is that if I know, if for the example, like he said, if I've been going to a gym for a month straight and I see that one guy and I know, like, if he talked to me, it's gonna be, especially if I heard him talk or if I seen his mannerisms, I've seen how he is with other people. I'm not about to go to a club and just smash somebody I met that night. It has to be someone that, like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling him. And I would never go ahead and push that on anybody, because you know what I did when I had my son? I got my tubes tied because I learned my lesson. Okay, I would never go ahead and go push that life on somebody else, especially when I know where I came from. I would never tell a young woman go out there and just go smash. I would never do that. And you, my girl Sherelle, we from the same city. I would never do that. Like, for real. They said that they wanted to hear real experience, so I'm coming from real experience. That's from the age of 17 to 25. Because once I had my son, everything shut down. My whole life changed. So I'm not about to sit here and say that I wasn't being, I'm not saying I was out there, but I was living life. But once I had my son, especially my son, life always switched around. So that life that I was living, because I could have been out here snorting drugs at the freaking company party, I could have been that girl, but because I know better, and especially after I had my son, I changed my life. So to sit there and tell my niece, my little cousin, or any of these little girls that's under me, I would never tell them just go and smash, because like I stated, the way Granville had explained it, that's the way that we should be going. And because I want to see the Black community somewhere, I will always tell a young lady to do it how Granville do it. If you meet a man who actually wants to get to know you and not your pussy, that's the man you should be going for. I will never sit there and tell you.
Wait. Let me respond to her, and then you can come. This is what I'm saying. So I'm still on point of what I'm going. You said they want a real thing. Sherelle don't have that experience. So understand this. In my real life, I've always been disciplined. In my real life, I've never had a whole face. In my real life, I've always carried myself in the way I'm supposed to carry myself. I can't push my existence onto you. So because you had my situation is real and your situation is real. Don't let them try to tell you, oh, because you ain't fucked up out here, that your situation ain't real. My situation is realer than a lot of y'all situations. It don't make me real for letting no nigga nut in me and having no baby. It don't make me real letting no random niggas bust me down. That don't make you real. Stop trying to make it seem like this is the only real situation. Oh, tell us the real. Tell us the real, because you know what they saying when they want you to tell us the real? They want you to tell them some salacious ass shit to try to make it seem like they want you to tell some salacious ass whole story so that they can try to pass that along and try to make it seem like all y'all hoes. And that's not the case. That's not the case. Even though the hoes are the loudest ones and they have the biggest platforms, at the end of the day, somebody gonna have to stand up for the women like, yo, no, we really disciplined out here. We really ain't. And y'all really don't like us. That's what y'all need to talk about. Y'all really don't like us. Because guess what? Women being sexually active like that shit is beneficial to men, because men want to smash easy. When a girl's sitting around and telling you, oh, I'm not gonna smash you, and it ain't no 90 days, it's gonna be some time, them niggas get from around you. They don't even like that. That's a whole different reality, and that's way realer than somebody being able to go to the club and smash anybody.
In a way, you're right, Sherelle. But the thing is, men, we don't actually have a problem with like hoes. They've been around since the beginning of existence, but they've always had their lane. And the number's been minimal. The number is simply growing, and it's growing at a rate to where, like I was asking you, what do you think is best for the Black family and our community? And since you said you came up for that reason, I would assume that you agree and align with more like that we need to actually, do the right thing as far as vet, choose better. And with JP, I get what you're saying as far as like some things that people have done in their past. I'm speaking for me, may not be in the line with what I say now, but what I do is I speak this way for my kids and those that are younger than me, so I can teach them or actually mentor them in ways so they can get a grasp of things and react different to heartbreak. Because most men, young men, experience heartbreak early, 6th, 7th grade. The girls have a little more game. They have more options early out. So, men usually get their heart broken. A lot of women create the men that they complain about, but that's another whole topic. But what's up, DJ Ant?
So can I respond to him?
Well, I want to ask Sherelle a question to get some clarity. Sherelle, if you had to give somebody advice, what would it be in regards to how they should conduct themselves in terms of like with men? Like if you're advising a woman, what would you tell her? What would you recommend to her?
I recommend sexual discipline. I think that sex is a very, like the exchange of it is a deep energy exchange. I do not feel like you can properly vet or properly understand a man or take your time and be patient enough to where this man is going to be right for you if you're being sexually active too soon. It's too many things. You can get pregnant. You can catch an STD. That is dangerous. I think to keep your to keep your mind clear, I think that women should have sexual discipline for themselves. I don't think that they should do it to brag, to be like, oh, well, I'm sexually disciplined. It's not about what kind of the man. It's about the fact that you keeping your head clear and you keeping your mind. You're not letting this man control your emotions. There is no woman who is sitting down, laying down with a man unprotected, letting the man ejaculate in her, who is not dealing with some type of emotional connection, or her judgment is not being clouded. Women get down with these men and they'll let these men do them anything, and they'll let these men ring them up for years and years and years, and they don't realize that sex is an energy exchange that they're continuously doing. So my advice would be to wait. I don't, whatever you believe in, wait. If you don't know this man, do not lay down with this man, because at the end of the day, you run about a broken heart. Somebody could give you something to ruin your life.
So you would tell him to abstain, right?
Abstain.
So I think the confusion comes, and maybe you can clear it up when you're saying if she have 12 bodies, she has, or whatever body count you said, that's her life. If she want to do X, Y, and Z, that's her life. I understand you can't control it, but you're not condoning it, right?
No, it's not. I don't want to condone it, but I do feel like I don't want men to be bamboozled, so I want hoes to be loud. Because I don't want Granville meeting no woman and she's really a hoe and she's lying about it. I don't want him to meet her and she's a hoe and now we gotta, you know what I'm saying? Now we gotta fuck over her because she playing with him. No, be loud so we know this ain't the type of woman that you need to be with. This ain't, let her do her thing so you know who to stay away from and let her be with the men who want women like that. But she's gonna have to be honest. So I don't have a problem with you being transparent. I would rather you be transparent so I know. Like if you a good guy, let me know that you a good guy. Be honest. If you a dog ass nigga, tell me that too, so I know how to move around.
Okay, I think I understand that. That makes sense. Let the hoes, don't shame them for being hoes. If they're gonna be hoes, they're gonna be hoes. But at least now we can readily identify. And then the women that say they're not doing it, we can almost vet that out better because we have a clear delineation.
Yeah, because now it's sometimes it's like when you say it's like they're shaming the good girl now is what I'm starting to pick up on. Is that the good girl is afraid to speak up and say, no, I'm actually celibate. No, I actually don't want to, because now it's like, oh girl, you lame as hell, girl. We grown, we can do what we want.
That's
now
what
you
I was
want to
getting
make
at
her
earlier.
feel. Now you want to make, oh, these niggas gonna get you. You need to get the money. You need the. That's what these girls are dealing with. Oh girl, you not. That's what we deal with. That's what we deal with. You losing out here. You losing out here. I have 1, 2 of these niggas be wrapped around me. Girl, you better give them some and it's going to keep them locked down. That's what the good girls are dealing with. So we need a voice too. The hoes is loud as hell. They all over the music, the TV shows, everything. They got their voice.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think the quote unquote good girls get shamed? So I think they get called the names as Agu mentioned. Have you seen that conduct? Like they get called pick me, mammy, etc. Have you seen that happen? And then they're also unbelieved by the men. Why is that?
Me? Oh, I don't know. And I feel like the men deal with it too. I feel like majority of people act in their lower nature, and when they act in their lower nature, they can only project what they know. You can only talk about the reality that you know. So when you start talking about low vibrational ass shit, I know where you are. It don't make no sense for me to kick you while you down, because guess what? If that's all you ever seen, that's all you know, I don't got to give you no judgment, baby. You already somewhere low. So it ain't enough for me to see that. But if you've never seen more, if you've never met a woman who know how to carry herself, and you've never been a man who know how to carry yourself, then guess what? It is what it is. Please, don't nobody start getting personal or taking personal shots on this panel. That's the one line. Please don't go there.
I'll be right back, JP.
Please don't.
I feel like you was taking shots at me when I just clearly stated that something that I have done in the past, and when I say that I learned from it. Now, see, here's the thing. Now, if you actually know my story, then you'll be like, okay, I can see why she probably fell for that weakness or whatever like that. But at the same time, once I saw the play and once I saw the game, I changed my life. Okay? I had my son at 27. So at
you don't have to reiterate. You don't have to reiterate it. Yeah.
But
no, I apologize if you think I was talking. I don't know your story, so it was never personal.
So it's like
I know they know
being whole.
He know who I'm talking about, but I'm saying like I don't know your personal story. Talk about your personal business. So it was never a personal shot. It was just it was about the statement that you made, and I don't even know if that statement was just coming from you saying something or if it was about your personal life, because people be up here just saying stuff.
No,
I just wanted to. I'm attacking the argument. I'm not attacking you.
Yeah. It was more about what was said and how when it's said, what's the general consensus, right? Because to be fair, like even when women say it, Sherelle, like they wholesome, I have a hard time believing it. You know what I'm saying? Like me myself, you know, because just social, you know, whatever we often experience. You know what I'm saying? Like women will say they a virgin. I'm like, ain't no way. One of those orifices got pressed. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you know, and maybe it's something to mine out more for myself. But even I can't. It's hard for me to you know what I mean? Like honestly assess it, you know, and believe it to be true. To be fair, go ahead, JP.
So one, I think the quiet hoes are the most dangerous. because you will get people like a Granville that will believe these conversations, will believe